For the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to be using cadaveric tendon, but obviously this would be utilized in an autograft situation. Allograft is not available to you. So we'll start by this piece of tendon is going to represent the short end piece of hamstring tendon that was taken, presumably attenuated during its harvest. We have whip stitched both ends, passing through the ABS tightrope, and we are then passing it through the femoral tightrope. For the next stage of the graft prep, we're going to take the whip stitches, with still left the needles on them just for expediency's sake, and we're going to pass them through the bottom part of the graft near the ABS tightrope with care not to incarcerate the ABS tightrope. We'll pass those stitches through. That will draw the ends of the graft down into the tibial side of the graft and help bulletize the graft for eventual passage through the tibial tunnel. So we mark out the doubled over length of that graft, and as you can see, you actually need very little graft in order to make that actually work. We then cut the tendon at the point that we marked on it. We have now whip stitched both ends of that short hamstring tendon, and we are passing it through the femoral tightrope over top of the quadruple tendon, and then we're going to actually slide it inside of the quadruple tendon, and we do this so it further bulletizes and is easier to pass. We then take the whip stitched ends of the small graft and we pass them in between the ABS tightrope and the previously passed graft ends from the quadruple tendon. This helps draw the short strand of tendon into the inside of the quadrupled over graft. Care should be taken to make sure that the tendon is not so long that it bottoms out on the bottom of the quadruple tendon and prevents you from sufficiently tensioning that strand of the graft. See the graft starting to form. We now independently tension all strands. We mark out at 10 and 20 millimeters. From the edge of each graft, and these will represent the position for our cerclage stitches. We then begin passing our cerclage stitches, placing an adson through the center of the graft, helps stabilize it and prevent rotation, which makes suturing easier. It becomes very important to make sure your cerclage stitches pass through every strand of graft to sufficiently anchor them and preserve the stability of the graft. We repeat this 3 times. You can now see the 4 cerclage stitches have been placed, which hold the graft together, grabbing all strands. This graft measures to an 11, which is probably larger than you would use in standard ACL reconstructions. However, we have used this technique for converting size 7 and 6 grafts into 9 and 8 size grafts that are adequate for ACL reconstruction.